Hey guys, yeah, it's been quite a while before we got back here with anything on the reality series, and guys, we're back here once again with a lot of things that we need to discuss. And here today, we start with reality series from where we left it, and that is reality series 6. Your host is Catchman Sandy, and you're inside Infolink Televising, and we are going to bring you the gist of the story that is happening here in Kenya. Today, we have packed for you something about the controversial case of the fake lawyer, quote unquote, Mr. Brian or Advocate Brian Mwenda. Yeah, Brian Mwenda has been practicing law in Kenya for quite some time. Actually, he's done a good number of cases, summing up to 26. What is quite funny about Brian is that he's done an 100% or 360 turnaround of the cases. He's managed to do 26 successful cases out of 26 successful. What a brilliant brain! What a wit! One person handling 26 cases, appearing for 26 clients, and winning all the 26 cases. And then later in the day, you come to realize that this particular person was a fake lawyer. How? Then I think let us look at what it means to be fake. Then fake has credit. I think then fake is one thing that we really need to. Wait a minute. How do you want to say that the lawyer that won 26 cases against some lawyers who went to a law school is fake? Remember, law school is not like any other school. A law school and medicine are among the schools that you take a long time because you really need to sharpen your skills to practice better. Of course, after graduating at the fourth year in a law school from the university, you then need to get into another school or learning session for another 2 years before you get yourself admitted to the bar. Now look at it. Brian Mwenda never went through an LLB degree course. He doesn't have any. He managed to get outside there. I don't know how, managed to get himself admitted to the bar. Was something that there are so many people who today have done their LLB degree. They are having them years, but they haven't managed to get to the bar. Brian has managed to get to the bar, and not just get to the bar. He's managed to get there and represented clients in court and managed to win their cases hands down. 26 of them. Now, today, the Kenyan government is set out the search for him, and I think he's been arrested already, so that he is arrested for impersonification. I think that was what the LSK said, that he impersonated some particular Brian, was Yunguchiri or something, in the law fraternity. No, if he did not use that person's brain. I think let's look at it beyond just impersonating this particular person based on the appearance and everything. Let us look at that impersonification in a more detailed perspective, in the sense that what did he carry along with him? He didn't carry his brain. He probably just carried his name to the bar. If he did, I don't know. I'm not so sure. He had his own brain, and he used his own brain to argue the cases and win them. Then Kenyan government is not supposed to be hunting this man down for arrest. One thing, and this advice, free advice to the LSK, and you want competent lawyers, Brian is the guy to go. Advice for anybody who is here and having troubled cases. So you want competent lawyer to handle your cases, surety, 100% surety that he wins, Brian Mwenda is the guy. Corporates, companies, individuals, I don't regret. I think that is why Maina Njenga went for him, because he was 100% sure this guy is gonna deliver. So now, the government then needs to go after these lawyers, because each and every time he argues a case against a particular lawyer. So these advocates who went arguing cases against Brian Mwenda and lost against him are fake. And if fake is any word to say, because fake would mean that they do not have deserving qualification of even the deserving qualities. They don't qualify in whatever way to make sure that they can process this kind of a case. This guy has told off the public, the courts of Kenya, the Law Society of Kenya, that he can manage the cases. And again, one thing that we really need to realize about this gentleman is that he has discredited education in terms of studying law. He's gone beyond what people have always believed, that for you to go practice law, for you to be a good lawyer, you must have an LLB. He doesn't have any. He has beaten, he has won cases against lawyers who got LLB. Some lawyers who have worked, seasoned lawyer, who have worked for a very long time, has appeared in court before the judges for a very long time. I don't have problem with the magistrate who delivered judgment, because for him, his work is not to look at the lawyer. His work is to look at the brain of the lawyer. So when the argument of the lawyer is sensible, then the judge delivers verdict. So I think he gave verdict based on whatever judgment or whatever argument the lawyer was presenting. So the judge got no problem. But the lawyer who lost, who could not respond to this particular argument to pin him down, because again, if you look at how judgments are delivered, the judge got no brain. Sorry, not brain literally, but he got no position but to listen to what the advocates are arguing. One or two, you just have to try and maybe pull strings here and here to try and ascertain those particular arguments. But in real sense, they don't have a position. Once the advocates are able to justify their position or back their position by evidence and actually by doing references, then that is it. It delivers that verdict. So these judges are just okay. But these lawyers who lost against Brian Mwenda are fake lawyers, and they're supposed to, LSK is supposed to deregister them. LSK is supposed to summon them and ask them how it happened. They did. The people who gave them cases are supposed to summon them and ask them how, if ever they are credited or not. Actually, every question is supposed to go to them. And second, Brian is supposed to be sought and not for jail, not for arrest. Brian is supposed to be helped to obtain a law degree and keep serving to help the people, because he's not done anything wrong. He's gone there to serve the interest of the people. He's gone there to present his clients and won cases for them, which is what a lawyer dreams of. What is the dream of any lawyer? To be the best winner of cases? 100% is not that good, is not that anything to celebrate. So he has won 100%. And that is what any good lawyer, even the lawyers we have today, Luo Nyanza, we pride so much on having good or seasoned lawyers, like Tinda Molo, James Orengo, we have Oraro, we have seasoned lawyers, people who stand with cases. But these lawyers have lost cases. So in their CVs, in the CVs of this lawyer, regardless of how long they have served, they have lost cases. In the CV of Brian Mwenda, he has not lost a single case since he was admitted to the bar. So he is much better. He stands more chance, and there is his graph is that sharp. So whoever is keen about Brian is supposed to give Brian the opportunity to have a law degree. And I think the next thing we really need to look at is how can he be given his degree so that he begins serving in court of law without coercion. Guys, I don't know what you think, but that is what I think. That is the reality of the day. That is what our reality talks brings to you today, because that is what I think has to be done or needs to be done if we really don't want to just go infringing on the rights of an individual. Maybe one or two questions how he managed to sneak the, but I think that is not supposed to be his problem. That is supposed to be the problem of the system. If he managed to sneak behind doors, in the corridors, and got himself to the bar to argue cases, as fake as he is, as you may say, then I think the problem is how airtight the system is. What are the checks and balances in the corridors of this particular system that cannot manage or cannot enable somebody to penetrate? So make your systems watertight, clean up, do reshuffling, and maybe determine if he ever came through a particular influence. If there was an influence that made him do probably bureaucracy or stuff, then I think that is what you're supposed to pull down and then get the system fixed. But if he just went through, walked that, and look at him, Brian is just a young man. I don't see somebody who has a lot of bad blood running his veins. Is one guy who probably this just something that I'm trying to guess. Maybe he went through school. Of course, he is learned. He is educated. If you listen to him, he is very articulate and knows how to put his points. His communication is super. I think he just went into a law school, probably didn't finish and didn't qualify. That is, and dropped, but had amassed massive knowledge about law and about presenting clients, legal aspects. So he came out here, and maybe because of one or two things, he didn't have fee, or there was pressure that he left, or there's something negative happened, and he didn't finish school, or they need graduate. And for that matter, it doesn't mean that he left his brain in school. He came outside that gate with his brain, and his brain is what is needed at the bar, and that is what he presented at the bar. And his brain has been found essential. Actually, it's an asset that we really require. So that is one thing that we really need to learn from this, that sometimes we throw the real apples and pick the rotten apples into our baskets. So sometimes you might think that the people you pushing through the system because they have managed to pay their fee, because they have managed to do all the things you want, because they come from who and who, because they are sons of so and so, those people then become good lawyers and practitioners. And very, very unfortunately, it gets out there. There are people who are pushed by the system. There are people who are favored by whatever names they got and whatever circumstances that befell them, that they just secure those particular positions that they cannot defend. Now, there are people whose system became so tight to, and they were not able to even go through. And they failed in one way or another. They dropped. People have dropped out of school, from high school to colleges to the university, and they're outside there. And doesn't mean that they could not do something good. They are able to do something even much better than the people who are graduated. But because they were not able to finish, throwing them away, trashing them. I think Brian Mwenda is that example you want in Kenya. And somebody need to take home a lesson. Till next time, ciao.